Hey legend, it's Josh here. And in this video, I want to talk about how to instantly change your thoughts so that you can manifest anything that you want in your reality. Because a lot of people that I talk to come to me with negative thoughts, self doubt, low self worth, and just all of these belief systems in their head that are really not conducive to creating a great life. And it's actually so simple to change your thoughts. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to change your thoughts. Now, I learned this when I was just a teenager by some kind of divine miracle. Back when I was about 17 years old, I was going through a lot of my own mental health issues. I was very anxious. I was overthinking. I was emotionally a bit chaotic. I was getting into all sorts of trouble, lots of drinking, lots of drugs, all that kind of stuff. Now, I knew that that wasn't the kind of life that I wanted to live. And I knew that within me, I had more potential. I knew that that wasn't my path, right? We have drug and alcohol abuse in my family, and I really didn't want to go down that path. But at the time, I didn't really know what to do. And so I ended up moving away from my hometown and I started to practice meditation, right? Now, I started to practice meditation out of some kind of spontaneous synchronicity. It just so happened that I read a blog post on some random online website that told me if you start practicing meditation now as a young person, you're going to be an absolute superhuman when you're in your mid 20s. And I thought that sounded pretty good. So I started meditation. I did 10 minutes a day. I didn't tell anyone else what I was doing. I just started practicing meditation by myself, right? And I did that from the age of 17 until presently. I'm still meditating, so 15 years later. And one of the things that I learned through the meditation practice that really changed everything for me was that I am awareness and you are awareness as well. Most of us, we think that we are the thoughts that we have. We think we have these thoughts and we have these beliefs, and we think that's what we are. So we start to identify with labels and we start to identify with these certain ideas that we have in our mind, these thoughts and beliefs. However, what I learned through meditation is that you are not those things. You are the awareness of the thoughts. You are the awareness of the beliefs. You are the awareness of the concepts and the ideas. You're an awareness of any kind of label that you might put on yourself, right? So the question really becomes, how do I raise my awareness? Well, how do I raise my consciousness? How do I enter into a higher level of consciousness? Because when you're in a higher level of consciousness, that is when you can start to see everything for what it is. Right? So let me just give you an example, right? You have a body, a physical body. Most people are identified with their physical body and they think that that's really who they are, right? And let's just say that, let's just take that for a fact, right? For the point of this video, you have a body. You also have a mind. So you have your thoughts, you have your beliefs, you have your mind, right? You can say, yeah, that's true. Checks out. I got a body. Yeah, can feel it, can touch it. It's physical. I've also got a mind, right? My mind, it's more non-physical. It's kind of invisible. It's like thoughts, maybe some feelings and emotions. And it's like not really physical, right? Your beliefs, your ideas, they're just these things that are kind of just, seem to be floating around your head, but they're not your head. So another thing that you can start to become aware of is this fact that you can be aware of your thoughts. So you can actually develop an awareness of your thoughts. Right now, you might be thinking, what's this guy talking about? Does he know what he's on about? Right? Just pause for a second and just become aware of that thought without any judgment, without any attachment. Maybe I'm full of shit, maybe not. But just for a second, become aware of the thought. Okay? And realize that you can become aware of the thought. So if you can become aware of the thought must be this kind of secondary thing. And there must be a primary thing that is aware of the thought. There must be a primary aspect of yourself which can be aware of your thoughts, right? As a secondary kind of aspect of yourself. Now, this is really interesting to consider because then it's like, well, what is that awareness? It's not a thought. It's not a thought of awareness because the awareness is aware of the thought itself. Okay? So stick with me here. Just wrap your head around this for a second. Just contemplate this for a second. Allow yourself to sit with this idea. You can also be aware of your body. Right? You can be aware of your body. I can be aware of my hand. I can also be aware of my thoughts. An example would be, I am Josh Holiday. That's a thought. Josh Holiday is an idea. It's a thought. It's a name that my parents gave me. It's a label. It's an identification that I can be aware of. But what about this awareness? Right? This is the spiritual aspect of yourself, your awareness, your consciousness. And this is what I learned through my years of meditation. I learned that I don't need to attach to my thoughts. I don't even need to attach to my body or my physical experience. Now, this is very liberating. This is a path towards freedom. And it's also a path towards creating the kind of life that you want. Because when you realize that you can actually detach from your thoughts and then choose which thoughts that you would like to have from a place of higher awareness, you can shift instantly from a negative thought to a positive thought. Okay? You have to come up to your higher level of awareness, realize that you have a higher level of awareness first. For most people, they don't even know that. And this is when the light bulbs go on. And this is the first awakening, right? You have a higher level of awareness. Awakening, right? Wow, I do, don't I? And then you realize that that higher level of awareness can be aware of the thoughts and can be aware of the body, right? Some people I talk to ask me how to change their emotional state, right? Or if I introduce an idea that you can change your emotional state, they will question me and say, I don't know what you're talking about. How can you do that? Right? It's very simple. You be aware of your emotions. You start to develop an awareness of your emotions. A lot of people already have an awareness of how they're feeling, right? You ask someone how they're doing today, they say, I'm all right. Or they say, I'm feeling really, really good. They have an awareness of their emotions already. They have an awareness of their feelings already. Right? Or, you might be talking to a friend and they might say, I'm really down. They have an awareness of how they're feeling, but they're identifying with the feeling as opposed to identifying as awareness of the feeling. Because if you were identifying with this higher level of awareness of your feelings, you'd be able to go, I'm feeling down. Okay, what can I do to change, right? My emotional state. There's a few things that you can do, right? Meditation is one of them. But sometimes I just like to go for a walk in nature, right? Sometimes I like to just do some push-ups, right? Sometimes I like to just randomly go up to my wife and just give her a big hug for no reason. That shifts my emotional state, right? Sometimes if I've been sitting down in this chair too long, I'll just stand up, right, and shake my body out a little bit. You can change your emotional state. If you're not in a state that you like, that you're enjoying, you can change it. But it takes awareness. You've got to wake up to your higher awareness and then change. Okay. And you can do this with your emotions. You can do this with your feelings. You can do this with your thoughts. All right. Now, your thoughts create your reality. Everything that's ever been created by man, the iPhone that I'm looking at right now, the two lights that are here, all of the books that are here, the desk that I'm sitting at, the microphone in front of me, this chair, the house that I'm living in, all of it was an idea in somebody's mind before it came into physical manifestation. This is how it works. Your body and the physical plane is actually the last manifestation. It's the last representation. Okay. Higher is the mind. The mind actually comes first. None of this would exist. None of what you're seeing in my room here would exist without first having been an idea in someone's mind. And then they took that idea from their mind and they said, I'm going to build this thing. And then they created it and then it became physical. First, it was non-physical, then it was physical. Okay. So everything that's created by man in this world is created through the mind first and then into the physical reality. You have to understand this. And so when you learn that you can change your thoughts and you can change your mind and you can actually direct your attention, you can direct your creative energy, you can direct your mind. When you practice that and when you train that every single day, you're going to be creating a better life for yourself. You're going to be creating a more positive experience. Right? Now, I'm not going to say this is easy, because it's actually not easy. It is instant. It is simple. I've just laid it out for you. However, just like anything good in life, it takes effort, right? It takes your discipline. It takes your focus, your commitment, right? This is one thing that I'm really big on, that I've developed over the years, right? Again, I've been meditating now for 15 years. It's been a disciplined practice. It's been a committed practice. It's been a consistent practice. And I tell everyone that I work with, you won't achieve anything meaningful if you're not consistent, if you're not committed, and if you're not disciplined. And for a lot of people, that's not sexy, but I don't want to be sexy. I want to be real. I want to be truthful. I want to be no bullshit, right? Over the years, I've learned that if you commit to something and you stick to something and you're consistent, you can change your life. So I went from being an anxious teenager, right, to creating everything that I wanted in my life. Right? Now I have a beautiful wife. We have 2 kids. We live in a beautiful home. I have a beautiful car outside, right? I run a business, helping people, doing what I love with purpose, right? I wake up getting to do purposeful work every day. You couldn't pay me to do anything else. Even if someone offered me more money to do something else, I wouldn't do it, because I would do what I'm doing right now for free. Even if I had another job, I would still do this because I love this. This is what I love to do. I love to help people, right? I love to help people get control of their mind. I love to help people with their mental and emotional well-being. This is what I love. I would do it every single day. So I've created and designed my life exactly the way that I wanted it by implementing the actions and the processes that I'm talking to you about right now. These ideas that I'm sharing with you, I have already implemented them into my own life, and I have created my own reality exactly how I want it. We live 100 meters away from the beach, and I'm not sharing this to brag. I'm sharing this just to show you as an example, right? Not just like some kind of, word vomit. I'm living as an example. Okay. I've already done it. I know it works. And so I'm just sharing with you what's worked for me over the last 15 years. Because I know that if you take this stuff and you implement it into your own life, not just by watching a YouTube video, not just by watching a YouTube video or just watching a 15, 20-minute video, however long this is going to go for, and then kind of just going in one ear and out the other. Watch this video 20 times. Watch it 50 times. Watch it every day for the next month, and just really start to understand what I'm saying. It's not enough to just know. It's not enough to just know the ideas. You have to be the embodiment of the idea. You have to be exemplifying the idea. And the only way that you can do that is through practice. It's through training. Okay? This is what I help people with, right? I actually have a free training on my website where I walk you through the 3-step method, which I call the Mind Launch Method, to help people regulate their nervous system and their body, which is important, rewire their mind and their thinking, again, exactly what we've just talked about, and also reset their emotional responses, right? Because it does take some effort, like I said. It does take some discipline, some consistency, some work. But if you want to master your mind, you want to be able to instantly change your thoughts and create whatever kind of reality that you want to create for yourself, I'm telling you, it's possible. If you want to grab the method, just go to the description. There's going to be a link to my website where you can find the video. You can just go and watch it for free, right? It walks you through everything. It shows you exactly how I've done it. And it also shows you hundreds of others that I've helped do the same thing, right? So it doesn't show you hundreds because that would make it too long of a video, but it shows you a few, right? And there's a lot of reviews and stuff. Anyway, go watch it. If you want some more help, you can book a 15-minute call with me below that method video, and I'll be happy to help you. That's it. Remember, watch this video over and over again. Drill in the concepts that I've talked about. Learn to understand them deeply so that you can embody them and exemplify them, and your life will change forever. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.